Friday to everybody. Hope you're going to have a fantastic weekend. How is everyone doing, guys? Let's analyze the charts here. On Friday, it seems like that the weekend is just hours away and we're probably not going to see much volatility. How is everyone doing, guys? Smash up that like button on your way in. Bang! Just takes 2 seconds. Let's analyze the situation here. Let's talk about higher time frame scenarios for the Bitcoin price. What is likely to happen here in the next coming months? Also, we're going to take a look at the lower time frames, of course, to analyze the situation here to say, hey, you know, what is the highest probability scenario, right? Is this bump and run scenario just a big fat nothing burger and the price is going to drop very likely in the coming days? I think that is definitely a case. But there were some rumors. I did read some rumors on Twitter about there's probably going to be a spot Bitcoin ETF approval today and stuff like that. Guys, update me, because I think this is obviously not going to happen. Update me in the comment section if you are more in the news section and looking at. I'm more in the chart section, not in the news and fundamental section. So update me on what's going on with the ETF. I did see a few people on, you know, maybe you have to approve the ETF today. I was like, hang on a second, what's going on? People are hyping up too soon with the spot Bitcoin ETF. Let's go right away, guys, through the comment section, say hello to my beautiful community, and then we can analyze Bitcoin, right? I think we're just going to see a little bit of boring action. There might be a little bit of volatility here the coming hours, just for the, basically for Friday close. And let's just analyze some levels here together on YouTube. And yeah, let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Calm before the storm, says Steve. Yes, sir. Crypto business, how are you doing? I was the first like. Thank you very much, my man. It just takes 2 seconds, guys, to destroy that like button if you do enjoy this content. You enjoy the technical analysis and the possible setup scenarios. We talked about a possible break in today's video above this $26,900 range. We'll go through the lower time frames in now the next coming minutes. However, this did not happen. We did create a failed breakout, and we were very much ready for that possibility in the Legends community. Of course, we talk about multiple scenarios. We talk about if we break above, if we do go down from this level, if we hit the daily naked point of control and create choppy action, if we do come up and test this high and fail to break so, then we can enter a short, right? We need to have several plans, right? You can't just have one plan, right? When you're trading any market, right? Just only one trade setup. No, you need to see multiple scenarios. What happens if this level fails? What happens if this level fails? What happens if we go down here? You know, what is the plan down here? What is the plan here? What is the plan here? And what is the plan over there? So we need to have several plans, right? And just be ready. Okay, have those plans ready. You know, and depending on how that, you know, price action evolves or at certain levels, you take a decision. So this was very much a valid short position right over here. I got in a little late, but managed to get into that trade. I was in a meeting and I couldn't, you know, the lets were set, but distracted with other stuff, guys, obviously. So it is what it is. But nevertheless, I did get into the trade, and let's just go through the comment section, guys, and we'll go through some possible scenarios. This was basically a test of the highs, right? We talked about a possible double bottom. We talked about, you know, it was very curious because we talked about this high right over here not being hit on this move here to the upside in the morning Central European time. That we're just a few dollars off in hitting that high. And, you know, I was aware with the community saying, you look, if we do get a bounce here, there was a, you know, this was an acceptable long position, of course, at the daily open. Getting above the daily open again was a sign of strength, not breaking beneath it. Looking for a move high here to the VWAP. Just a little scalp here mentioned in the Legends. So we talked about, you know, I'm not too sure of shorting here. You know, I'm just not, I don't like it, you know, especially when this high hasn't been claimed. I don't like, right, shorting here. I would prefer waiting for this high to be hit and see if it breaks out or if it fails. I'm waiting patiently for that breakout here, failed breakout, then obviously, you know, it was a short trigger, right? This was on one of the video updates talking about several plans. You know, there is that plan of hitting the level, and if it rejects from that level, as we are rejecting, we can manage risk very well to get into a shorting position, right? That is exactly that $26,930, right? Something mentioned in the Discord here today, looking for those scalps, because we are looking for scalps as well, guys. Obviously we are, because yeah, we can talk about higher time frame levels, but you might be waiting a week for that level to be hit. So we need to trade internally. What is going on here, you know, in between yesterday and today? Where are the opportunities? So we're very much active with the possible scenarios in the legends. Jane Wood, I got my auntie here. She's here. Hello, Jane. Hello, Auntie Jane. Much love. Let's go. Justin, how are you doing? Rudy, Father Time, thanks for joining. Got one of my moderators here giving the support like always. What's up, legends? How are you doing, Father Time? Get that like some love on the way in. Yes, absolutely. Calm before the storm, says Steve. Tony says, come on, guys, smash the like button. Does the dog like bump and run? I mean, yeah, my dogs, they're crazy. I've got some crazy dogs. They're always barking. They won't let me do a chilled live stream. They're always barking. Not good. Anyway, they part of me. They part of my life. They part of the YouTube as well. So you're just gonna have to live with it, guys. Let's go right away. Can you take a quick look at MKR? Yeah, of course. We can take a look at. Shall we focus on Bitcoin, guys? Let me know. Smash up that like button. Let me know if you want me to take a look at Bitcoin first of all, instead of jumping into some altcoins, okay? We can take a look at the most volatile altcoins that has been, you know, the last 24 hours, basically. What are the most volatile altcoins from the last 24 hours? We can see Thorchain, we can see CurveDAO. We can analyze those cryptos to see if they are hitting a major resistance zone. But I think we should be focusing on Bitcoin a little bit here for 5-10 minutes, and then we can jump into some altcoins here all together and analyze, you know, some possible setups. Hit the like button twice even. The red loop, thank you very much for that insane support. Let's go right away here through the comment section. And let's go continue through the comment section. We are in a Wyckoff accumulation stage. Wyckoff accumulation stage, is that on the very low time frame? I mean, on higher time frame, it does look like we are in a bit of a distribution phase, to be honest, right? For me personally, I do think that this is a bit of a distribution, right? We've come from a beautiful rally since the beginning of the year, really nice. Now this momentum wave is getting a bit choppy, and this does look like very much a distribution phase where prices potentially going to go to $19,000 in the coming weeks. It looks very choppy, but I guess you're talking on the lower time frame. Yeah, I mean, when we're looking at Wyckoff distribution or accumulation, we basically want to take a look at it on the daily. It's usually several months, right? At least a couple of months of distribution or accumulation. But you can apply it on lower time frames. There's no doubt a bit of exhaustion here from this major drop of the last few days, and a lot of choppy action here inside of this level. So crucial low. It would be absolutely golden to hit this low over here in the next coming hours, maybe in the weekend. I think, Saturday and Sunday, they are famous for being choppy, but they do create beautiful ranges. You do test some highs and some lows during the weekend where you can get into some nice trading opportunities. So we're just going to have to see what happens during the weekend. I will be a little bit active, of course, on the Discord to see if we can find a weekend scalp opportunity. But BTC, if any alts, maybe the larger caps. I can't trade the small ones. Me neither. I focus 90% of my trading on Bitcoin. So not really too interested on altcoins. I'm not a very successful altcoin trader, to be honest. Did get into some good altcoins a few weeks ago, but that's about it. I'm not too fascinated in trading altcoins. They don't respect the levels too well. They do sometimes, but not. I just like Bitcoin. Hey bro, I just want to say thank you. Hey Abhishek, thank you very much for joining the stream. Hola, Skunk Ape, how are you doing? Let's do BTC dominance. It's still high. Anyone trading altcoin is risking. Okay, we can do that. Right, Tommy, any thoughts about the Ethereum Foundation selling some holdings? The last time they sold was at 31K, maybe 28K was the top for the year. I'm no idea about that. Ethereum Foundation selling some holdings of Bitcoin or Ethereum, do you mean? Because you're talking about Bitcoin here on the price. Yeah, I mean, maybe that 28K here high, 28,500 high here just from a few days ago, from just over a week ago, that was probably the high here, and we are going to go to lower levels. But let's just dive in on Bitcoin, guys, and then I'll go through the comment section. We'll take a look at some altcoins. Let's leave this altcoin ready, MKR, which is MakerDAO, if I'm not mistaken. And this one's been doing pretty good the last few weeks. But what's going on here? What is going on with this rally? Is it going to top out at some point? We'll be taking a look at MakerDAO in just 1 second, guys. But most importantly, Bitcoin, the levels that I am paying attention here, a bit on higher time frames. Of course, internally there could be some opportunities. We'll be talking about that, of course, in the legends. But this low, guys, will this low be taken in the next 24 hours potentially, right? If it's not going to be taken right in the next coming hours, I think Saturday and Sunday will be quite choppy. It will be quite choppy. We'll be still ranging here in this zone. But we just need to be ready for higher time frame levels. And obviously how is this low going to be tested? The low here created on the 11th of October. Will we smash through that level, or will we get some choppy action there and manage to hold it and get a significant bounce? That is an interesting low right there. It is the September point of control that held beautifully as support. We talked about this in the legends. Some of the people actually taking advantage of that long opportunity here to pump a few $100s. Now the question is, are we going to smash through that level? Definitely possible, but it is support, so we're going to give it a chance. Somebody's saying that it is an accumulation phase, right, where you are creating, this sideways action, and you're probably going to create a spring point here. Is it possible to create a spring point, get everybody fearful, saying that 25K is coming, get ready, and then whoop, you get a massive spring point, claiming all of these highs over here, definitely a target zone, and pumping over $500-600, right? It's possible. This is what Bitcoin does, right? It surprises you at the last minute, and then suddenly it gets a massive recovery from a low, right? Fake breakout, and then we're off to the races. We're gonna have to be paying attention to that low, $26,500. It is the September point of control, remember, and it's also here the resistance from the lower highs here of this bump and run scenario. So hey, it has a chance. It is big major support, and we can see it from the price action from the last couple of days, ranging here at this zone above 26,500. So now the question is, no doubt that this is very impulsive, this is corrective, impulsive, this is corrective. The question is, will the next impulse successfully break down to our next level of interest, which is that daily $26,200, where we do have the 618 Fibonacci from the start of the pump here in September on most of the exchanges. 618 is exactly here where that daily level is, 61865. Nice zone, very nice zone of interest. Those are the nice levels of interest here to get a significant bounce. So let's go right away and talk about the resistance levels. Okay, we're talking about the low levels. What happens if the price, gets a bounce from here? There are some bullish CVD divergence that have actually already played out, to be honest. They already played out because it was claiming this high over here. Basically, those bullish CVD divergence on most of the future exchanges, we had them right over here where the price action was creating that slightly higher low right there. We were just about $50 in claiming that low, and the CVD was creating lower lows. You're getting those aggressive selling orders here, and limit orders here, you know, holding this level, getting that significant bounce, hitting the target of the bullish CVD, which is all the way up here at the high from the start of the CVD, right? It's the start, you know, this is the high from the start of the CVD. Beautiful, beautiful target. This was sometimes plays very well. CVD divergence. It's a very powerful tool, no doubt. And right now, do we have any kind of CVD anything? Is there any bullish or any bearish CVD here internally? Well, there could be. I mean, yeah, we're still far away actually. You know, we are creating higher lows from this low to this higher low right there. Still creating higher lows, but there is a chance we could drop from here and the CVD might create another lower low right there. And then you would have also some really nice bullish CVD divergence. If you do start consolidating here, something very similar to this price action, then obviously we're looking quite interesting if the CVD is going lower. Be very interesting to see. You might get another bounce and then claim the highs here again. It's possible. It's possible, even though when you usually have tested these highs already, it's kind of the most likely scenario is actually coming down to the lows. That would be the most likely scenario because you've already come in and claimed this high, right? This high has been claimed already. So it's like, it's time to claim the lows now. So the best interesting zone is this one, no doubt. If we smash through, it's the 26,200. What happens if the price suddenly recovers from here? Well, we're going to have to analyze the situation from this neckline, that old daily level. I've got the old daily level. I like to leave it there because it's basically been that huge resistance here during the last couple of days. So we leave that old daily, right, as the resistance. Once we, you know, if it were to smash out from that zone, you know, that daily naked point of control is very, very interesting. This is an area where I would expect choppy action, and we want to get into that double top, right, or even the triple top for that corrective move. You want to pay attention to those wicks, right, as you're testing the highs. Testing the highs and testing the lows. That is where you're going to find the best trading opportunities. So, evening legends, Mark Dutch. He is here, the legend himself. How are you doing, Mark? Thanks for joining the stream. Andy, what does it mean when CVD is lower but price action is higher? Yeah, well, basically what this tells us is when the CVD is going down, it means that there's aggressive market sell orders. When you are creating lower lows on the CVD, right, and you are creating higher lows on the price action, that means that there are aggressive selling orders based on the CVD. You can see lot of market participants, right, selling at that time. And what is happening with the price action as you are creating a higher low, that means that they are getting absorbed by larger limit orders, meaning that the limit orders are more powerful. They have much more volume, much more contracts, and they are not allowing the price to create a lower low like the CVD, meaning that they're likely retail traders, right, and they are going to get, you know, they're going to get wrecked, right? It's going to go the other way. So yeah, in the same scenario here for the bearish CVD divergence, if the price action is creating lower highs and the CVD is creating higher highs, that means there's aggressive market orders that they are getting absorbed by limit orders, meaning that it is likely to claim the low, you know, from that, you know, the higher low since the creation of the CVD, right? Brief, quick explanation. I'm not sure if you understood, but that is basically it. You can watch it a few times. It's just as simple as that, nothing else. If I am in a long, should I close it now? Depending on where your entry is. If you have longed right down here, obviously I would have taken some profits, no doubt, at this swing failure pattern right there. It's an obvious take profit zone because you're rejecting from the level. I would have been taking profits here, right? As you reject, it's like, this is not managing to get above the level. Time to take some profits. If you break through, you can hold the position. But if you reject from the high, you want to take profits because this might come back down to the lows. So obviously would have taken some profits already on this. However, it's worth holding 20%, 40%, depending on how confident, you know, I would say there is a chance. There's definitely a chance maybe to create another high and try and break these highs here at 26,900. There is a chance. Andy, fantastic call on the 26.6K. Today is final day of a fantastic call on the 26.6K. Fantastic call. Was this from what, this price action over here? Can't remember when that was. Was it on Legends or on the video on YouTube? Today is the final day for US SEC to appeal Grayscale spot ETF decision. Will BTC pump or dump today on that news? When is that coming out, guys? You know, I've been seeing that on Twitter. Let me know when is the timing. What US time, you know, is the SEC actually going to say if it's going to be approved or not? Is it going to be in an hour from now, in 2 hours from now? Let me know, guys, in the comment section right away. And smash up that like button on your way to writing that comment, guys. Come on, share some love here. Let's go right away and continuing through the comment section, guys. I just feel like interacting with the community today. I think the levels are pretty obvious. They're pretty obvious for me for my next trading setup. And what happens if we do break this resistance? Like I said, that naked daily point of control is just the only level that I think, you know, there is an interest. Went from this pivot high to the pivot low. I mean, 618 is beneath that level, but you could get in between 618 and 78, create that choppy action in between 618 and 78, and you have that daily naked point of control. So it might be choppy, and you know, the more the choppy is, the better we can get into a better position here at the highest level possible for a short, because this level could actually come all the way down, all right, to these lows, right? It could actually come all the way down to these lows. And I would see that as a three-wave structure, still part of a three-wave structure, being 1, 2, 3, right? Basically an ABC coming from an impulsive move. So that's what makes more sense here. If we were to go up, I would not really be extremely bullish. I would be looking for shorts in between 26,950 and 27,100, 150, right? Inside of this $200 zone, it's a zone where I would be waiting patiently to see what are you doing, Bitcoin? Come on, what are you doing? What are you doing? Let's see what happens. And you know, the more choppy it gets, then I'll be like, yeah, I like it. This is looking pretty exhaustive. You know, looking for that, you know, double, triple top formation to finally start coming down as we get that exhaustion. Let me know, guys, when is that going to happen? Because we might see, you know, just imagine that Grayscale spot Bitcoin ETF approval just suddenly, it's going to be a hype pump and it might go to 28K in a straight candle. Long time since I haven't seen $2,000, $3,000 move in 24 hours on Bitcoin. Imagine that. It could be that kind of hype. The last one that we had was actually right over here. That was when Grayscale actually won the court case, right? I think this big major pump, it pumped in basically a few hours from $26,000, sub 26K, all the way up to 28K. So that was a $2,000 pump in a matter of hours. Will that be the case? Just imagine they say, okay, we're going to approve that spot Bitcoin ETF, Grayscale spot Bitcoin ETF. It will definitely trigger a hype, no doubt. It will definitely trigger a hype. But it's pure speculation, of course. You know, shall we long? When is that news coming out, guys? US before midnight time. Okay, US before midnight. Okay, so that's at least about 9 hours from now, approximately. US midnight. Right. What time will the news drop? Okay, Anoop knows it. Midnight US. I guess that's Eastern time. Interested in the news. So yeah, if you want to stay awake, it's going to be 6 o'clock in the morning. I might just stay awake just to see just to see it, because that will, you know, if they say no, there could be a major sell-off. There could be a big major sell-off, guys. And if they say yes, it's approved, there could be a massive big pump. Pure speculation, pure hype, pure manipulation, right? even though if it is approved, you know, I don't see that pump being sustainable. I think it's going to be a classic hype pump where it's likely going to fail, right? Just like the one we did see here several weeks ago, back in, you know, late August. You know, very big hype pump, straight back down from the start of the pump a few days later. Stay cautious with these hypes, right? Because a lot of people are saying, you know, hey, spot Bitcoin ETF approval, rest of it, we're going to the moon. But stay very, very cautious. But let's just say it's possible. If it's approved, then we get a massive rocket of $2,000 potentially. If it's not approved, we could drop, you know, over $1,000. Right? Head and shoulder pattern on BTC on the weekly time frame. Yeah, there is a bit of a dodgy head and shoulder structure you could arguably discuss. All right, I think you could arguably discuss that. Yeah, it's a kind of head and shoulder. It's a kind of, the right shoulder is a little bit, you know, it's a little bit broken. But yeah, it's not the most healthy price action for sure. So by midnight, it could be in 1 hour too. Okay, it could be in 1 hour too. Okay, by midnight. Okay, so it could be in 1 hour as well. It might be a surprise event. If you are doing any trading when these events are coming out, guys, you want to be very defensive. Protect positions. Don't, you know, if you are thinking in adding into a long, or you got a stop loss very low, or you have got a big epic short position and you have limit orders short here and your stop loss is all the way up here, this is not the time to do so, right? Because you will either get a huge massive pump potentially, or a huge massive drop. It might be a big fat nothing burger and nothing is going to happen. That is also a possibility as well. So hello, my mother is here. Yes, the #1 supporter. Apart from you, Mark Dutch. So how can you mark levels? How can you mark levels? Wow. I'm not sure how long you've been here in the trading industry, but how can you mark levels? We can be hours talking about levels. Is it daily levels, naked point of control levels? Is it, I don't know, you know, value area low levels, value area high from, you know, different sessions, you know, you name it. You name it. There is a course down below, okay, that is very well detailed from basic to advanced. I think, you know, there's a lot of information on YouTube, no doubt, but if you need to find everything on YouTube and organize it from basics to advanced, you're gonna take a long time. This is why the courses are created. You got the masterclass down below, guys. If you want to know in detail how I do my trading, you got the Legends Trading Masterclass, okay, down below in the description. This is where you can learn here how to learn like a pro, right? Learn how to trade safely with good risk management. It's all in that content here. There is a course down below in the description, because yeah, I can't explain it here on a live stream. Come on, it was going to take ages. Right, that is 6 in the morning for US. For us, yes it is. Yes it is. We'll probably put the alarm at 5:30 and have a coffee, Mark, and just analyze the situation, see if it's going to massive pump or massive drop. But stay defensive, no doubt, nevertheless. What happens if this is an... Yeah, I mean, it still could be that double bottom scenario here. And this is just creating choppy, still creating higher lows, and it's going to finally break. It's possible. Andy, great to see you, bro. Hey, Lonis Some Dove, how are you doing? Thoughts on Solana? Hola, Andy. Oreo, how are you? Shall we take a look at Solana? Let's take a look at Maker. But on Maker, there's just not much I can talk about this one. Just get the volume profile here and just analyze this pump. I mean, yeah, there's not much I can say here. What can we say about this? You know, it did have a nice, you know, it's kind of breaking out a little bit of the structure here from this large consolidation for the last few months. It's getting a bit of a pump now, a bit of a descending wedge breakout. Let's get a bit of a wedgy breakout here, and it is in an uptrend, so you could arguably discuss it. It does have a chance to move close to the highs. It is trending up, so there's not much I can say about this one because I haven't got any levels marked up, and you know, I'm not going to be taking a look at levels from this volatility on this crazy altcoin. But it doesn't look bad for a possible move up. But there's no way I would long position. I would not create a long here. That is for sure. Especially when you are testing this lower high, right, on the higher time frames. Yeah, it might fail to do so, and we're going to start correcting down. That could be a possible trade. Manage risk very well and look for that corrective move on MakerDAO. Because it doesn't look too promising, to be honest. But there's a little spike in volume. Yeah, I just don't want to trade this. I would not. I just don't want to trade these altcoins. Pivot high here to the pivot low of this corrective move. We got 50% at the point of control from the price action traded the last 2 weeks. Interesting, 50% with point of control from this range. Interesting level of rejection. I wouldn't feel safe long in here, guys, to be honest. You might think, hey, this is a descending wedge breakout. Let's long because the descending wedge breakout target is all the way up here. I don't see it too powerful, especially entering into the weekend. I would obviously try and, would have traded this low over here, swing failure pattern, right? Failed auction from this low and be in a long position from down here, not from up here, because you can't manage risk very well here. If you put your stop loss here, here, or here, right, or here, you just have a possibility of failing the breakout above this lower high. So it just doesn't make any sense to long here, no doubt. If it continues up, then let it be it. If you start rejecting from here, then I think there is a chance in getting a decent corrective move down at least to the 618, right, from this pump, 50% 618, and then maybe get a bounce. Let's take a look at Solana. Someone said Solana is looking strong. Let's take a look at Solana right away, guys. Solana looking strong. Yeah, not too sure about that. Let's take a look at Solana here on higher time frames. From this zone. It is sitting at a high volume node from the price action from the last 6-7 months. So, yeah, not too sure about this. I mean, this move is definitely more impulsive to the upside. It's quite impulsive. However, what is disturbing about this, obviously, is coming from this downtrend. If this is the low here created back in December of 2022, we've created a three-wave structure, basically a corrective structure from this downtrend, right? So if this is the ultimate low, we can count some waves from the low point here. So we got 1, we got 2, and we got 3 right there. It's for the moment very sideways, not too impulsive, not looking too great. It looks impulsive when you take a look at the lower time frames. Hey, the moves to the upside are impulsive, but let's recognize where we're coming from, guys. We're coming from a very much more impulsive move to the downside, and it's only created a three-wave structure. So you could arguably discuss it is definitely difficult here. But you can arguably discuss that this is the first wave down here and this is the second corrective wave, and you are going to get another move down here on Solana. Yeah. Let's go on lower time frames and analyze. It's very difficult for any wave theory here, obviously. They're very, very complex on some altcoins. Yeah, for the moment, I mean, I do see a 3-wave movement here. Could this be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to create a 5 at the moment? And that could be the start. If we do create 5 waves here, I would say, okay, this does look pretty nice for a corrective movie in the coming weeks, and being an ABC, and then have another leg up here, third impulsive wave. But I'm leaning a bit more bearish on the higher time frames, to be honest. I think this is kind of a disbelief rally, and we are going to come to lower levels in the coming weeks, guys. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it just yet. Perfect, that's more like it. Let me clarify. SEC has until midnight to appeal, so event is imminent. Yeah, the event is imminent, so it's likely to happen. Okay, it is likely to it's going to happen, right? That is that's what I did see on Twitter as well. I did see some different, influencers, some different people saying, today could be the day of a first spot Bitcoin ETF approval. And I'm like, hang on a second. So yeah, I mean, stay cautious, guys, with the trades. We could have an epic pump, in the next 9 hours, right? 8-9 hours. From now till midnight, it could be a surprise dump or a surprise pump. So stay cautious with your trades, legends. Thought on Sui. We'll take a look at that. Felipe, at work, enjoy my lunch and watching top tier TA from the best. Thank you, Andy. Felipe, hey, thank you, my man. Felipe is absolutely enjoying the content, the technical analysis, the setups, the risk management. Thank you, my man, for being a great supporter. And, I know you enjoy it. You are learning and you are putting the work and effort. So you are going to be a successful trader, no doubt in my mind. Like, Father Time. Let's take a look at Sui. We can take a look at Sui. Do you want to do higher time frame Bitcoin scenarios? We have talked about that. It's probably boring. Better lower time frames. Oh, this one is descending wedge. It's a killer descending wedge. Sui. I mean, not too sure about this. Sometimes these descending wedge on these altcoins can just kind of fizzle out. No doubt it looks like it wants to have a pop right at some point, bang. But this could still be another few weeks, right, of just boring price action till it actually pops out. But yeah, if you are wanting to attempt a long position, you no doubt you want to try and catch the low. And how you can catch the low is basically creating a swing failure pattern from the lows, right? Or a failed auction, get back beneath the lows again. But yeah, it's not looking too great. Not looking too great, to be honest. Maybe you are talking about these lower highs right there, that it has created a breakout from this wedgie structure. Yeah, it's not looking too convincing. It is beneath massive level of support. So right there, these lows over here is just not letting the price do much, to be honest. Yeah, these altcoins just look like they're just gonna, there's not much gonna happen. You could get volatility out of nowhere, but they're very unpredictable. They're just so unpredictable. I can really not trade. It has to be very clear for me to trade altcoins. The last few weeks there were some altcoins that were looking very clear, and we did manage to jump into some longs on several altcoins in the legends. Right, let's take a look here at Loom. Loom has been doing some very crazy price action for the last few days. Is it Loom old or Loom new? Yeah, Loom old. Yeah, this one has absolutely been ripping it for the last few weeks. Absolutely crazy. This one's done almost a 10x, about an 8x or so from the lows here, in September. This is just absolutely parabolic. What can I say about this one? Wow, it's actually creating a swing failure pattern at the moment from the highs here, from the all-time highs of 2021. It's not all-time highs, sorry. Whoa, very interesting. Very interesting here. It's currently just at the highs from 2021. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy after doing that 15x. This one's basically this one has been in the bull run on its own during the last few weeks. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. Well, it looks very, 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 very toppy though right here. This is very, very interesting to see. Very decreasing volume, massive decreasing volume. Yeah, this does not look like it's gonna succeed. It's gone too parabolic too soon. But this is definitely challenging to try and short it with good risk management, because it's just choppy. It could create one more wick, another wick, and then move down. It's very, very challenging, but no doubt it is testing the highs of 2021 with this reaction. This could be on the verge of collapsing, guys. So if you are willing to short this, manage your risk very, very well. Manage your risk very, very well. It could get another wick up here, so you just have to manage risk. But it definitely is a really nice possible swing short position. I mean, anything that goes parabolic like this, it's imminent that a crash is going to happen at some point. Very aggressive crash. So, and the best zone for that to happen is really a major high, and this is a 2-year high from 2 years ago. This will crash at some point. The question is, can it create another wick up? It's definitely a good attempt here, guys, no doubt. You mean if there could be another nasty wick, you just need to be ready to, let's see how this high is claimed, because you could have one more last wick, stop out all of those shorters that are getting in here, bang, and then get the movement down. So it might move down from here. It's already creating that swing failure pattern. Can Loom be traded on MEXC, guys? Can Loom be traded on MEXC? Potentially, yes. Remember, guys, I'm using MEXC now for the last week. Absolutely loving it because it has very low trading fees, and you got a deposit bonus of $20,000. All right, or depending on what you deposit, you can get up to $20,000. You need a large deposit here, obviously, to claim this massive bonus. But there are smaller deposit bonuses here, such as $300, $500, depending on what you deposit. And I'm really enjoying MEXC for the last week trading here. I need to trade on MEXC here for a few weeks, unfortunately, because I'm a huge fan of Bybit, and I will continue trading on Bybit, but just having some issues to trade there at the moment. So you can't trade on Bybit for the moment, just to be honest. But I still love Bybit. I'll still be trading on Bybit, no doubt, 100%. I've been using it for over 4 years. It has been my favorite crypto trading platform. I've had no issues with them till now. But love it. I mean, yeah, we'll be trading back on Bybit. You also got a great bonus if you can trade on Bybit, depending on where you are. There is a massive bonus also, $30,000 bonus on Bybit, and on MEXC is $20,000 worth of bonus. They're both great trading platforms. Currently, I'm using MEXC. The fees are very low. So if you're a scalper, a day trader scalper, and you are a defensive trader, just like myself, you will pay peanuts getting stopped out at break even or at a minor loss with fees. So you gotta absolutely love that. Scalpers love low fees on platforms. So MEXC is great, says King Palau. Yeah, Pauli, sorry, King Pauli 1. Mexi is great. You know, I did hear about it several months ago, but I was just, you know, I'm happy with one exchange. If one exchange works for me, you know, yeah, there's could be other ones. So, but yeah, now that I'm testing it out, I know it's legit. Done a bit of research, and you know, it's some other people have been trading on it, and it's a great platform, low fees. But obviously, Bybit for me, it's still kind of number one. You know, it has the best track record, and yeah, Bybit is still a great platform, obviously, to trade in. But you know, there are some restrictions in some places, so you need to look for alternatives, at least in the short term, right? So MKR, please. Yeah, MKR. We did just had a quick look on MKR. We did have a quick look on MKR, and I think we talked about yeah, this zone over here. This is a rejection point, guys. It's testing a lower high here from the 11th of October. This does look like it can get a corrective move here in the next coming hours. It's at a rejection point, guys. It's testing a high here. It's getting choppy. You could expect a corrective move on MKR. It's testing this high. You might think, yeah, but it's breaking out from a descending wedge. Isn't this bullish? Isn't this going to rocket? You know, if you are a breakout trader, you need to be very, very cautious. Very, very cautious on these. It's testing a high basically right now, and it's not having any power on that breakout. So it's a rejection point. There's no big major power here. It is kind of above the level, above this high from the 11th of October. It could bounce as support. If you break down from here, then I can say already it's going to be looking good for a decent corrective move. Maybe at least down to this point of control for the last few days. Maybe claim these lows and then get a recovery. You've got a high volume node right there, just where you have this consolidation. So you might just, you know, you might just hit that level and then manage to bounce from it. But there could be a quick short scalp here, very defensive. You break down, wait for a bounce, get in at the highest level. You're back testing this high. You're coming up to the 50% 618 Fibonacci and then you move down. This happens a lot. Back testing a failed breakout level. And the best example that I could give you is, yeah, it was a bit far off. But you would say, look, this one right there, right? These lows right over here, where you move down and you're like, oh, I don't want to long here yet. I prefer waiting for the confirmation that it's been a failed breakout and enter that retracement. It would be nice to have a little bit of a movement down here and then bounce. So this is basically this same theory that I'm applying here is what you would want to apply here on Maker, right? As you wait for that rejection, you know you've failed to move above this level. And then if you get that bounce is when you want to get in that short position to claim the lows and go slightly lower, potentially to this zone over here. That is where you want to enter, and that is where you want to take profits as soon as you start breaking the low. It might go lower, but it's a take profit zone, no doubt, and protect position. So you would want to see something like this. Fail to break out, retrace, then you're in the trade. Fail to break out, retrace, then you're in the trade. That's what I would be looking here for Maker. In a nutshell, please analyze Theta. I'm in a short position. Right, Tony. Okay, let's take a look. Yo, greeting from France. Hey, Philippe, how are you doing? Philippe in French. Theta Network. What's going on with Theta, guys? Theta Network. What is going on? Get this out of the way. Theta. It's just consolidating at the lows here. Wow. I still think it is a great project. Obviously, I think it is obviously a great project. it's just sitting at the lows here. It looks like it wants to have a move down here, to be honest, guys. It looks very descending triangle scenario. I like the lows to be tested and get a wick up. When you test a low, you want that low to be tested and get an instant reaction. Get the price leaving that level. Not test it, lower high, test it, lower high, test it, lower high, test it, lower high, test it. You know, it's like, it's a descending, you've got massive selling pressure here. And no buying pressure at these lows, and it's just going to get squeezed with the selling pressure, and it's just likely going to get a little bit of a dump right there. It's likely going to pop down. It's just there's no big major buying pressure at the lows. The reason for these swing failure patterns is that you get a bunch of buying pressure at the lows, right? So you kind of just test the lows and then buying pressure steps in, making that bounce, making that not successful breakdown, right? So traders are shorting their profit zone and then buyers step in at the low. Get the bounce, but then, there's no interest. It's still creating lower highs. There's no interest. So it's like, okay, we need to get out of this zone now. Will it be up or down? Well, what makes more sense down, as it's still creating aggressive lower highs, and this base is not holding. You got a base here that is not getting big bounces, so there's no demand at this low. There's just no demand. It's flat and it's aggressively creating lower highs. Unfortunately, it doesn't look, it would be looking different if it's a descending wedge, because once you create, on a descending wedge, you're basically testing the lows and you're getting an epic bounce. So you're testing the lows and you're bouncing, you're testing the lows and you're bouncing. But when it's like this, and you bounce, and those bounces are just getting lower and lower and lower, it looks like it's going to have a little bit of a drop here. It's the most likely scenario, unfortunately, on Theta. You could get that drop and then an instant bounce. There might be a lot of buying pressure here, but it does look like that leg down is going to happen on Theta. So I would wait for that move down, and if it can get an instant recovery, but you would have to wait for the selling pressure. Then it's when you're wicking up, then it's like, okay, shall we jump in with good risk or not? Only if you recover, obviously, because this could have a significant drop. I saw a bear chasing me and I'm running, says Satoshi. Theta only mama sniper. Right. A lot of altcoins. Analyze Mina. I'm in a short position, says Tony. Let me know where you're in a short. A lot of altcoins suddenly today, guys. A lot of altcoins. You're in a short position. Right. Where to? Where is your target? Where is your target? It is basically at the all-time low. Where is your target on Mina protocol? Do we have more? Yeah, it's basically at the lows. So you're just hoping, you're just expecting lower levels. This is more of a descending wedgie. Scenario. Take profits are at the lows always, so you're kind of at the lows already. So it's like this is just pure speculation to expect lower. I would say, depending on where you're shorting it, either here or I don't know where you're shorting, you're at the lows. This is a bouncing zone. Not much I can say about this, really. It can get a move down here, another leg down, but I would expect a bounce. If you do get that move down here, I would expect something like this, right? Not much to analyze here, guys, to be honest. Matic for Philip, absolutely. Let's take a look at Matic for Philip. Matic, what is Matic up to? Matic. Let's get this trend line out of the way. What can we say about Matic? Shall we take a look at Binance? Got a bit more price data here. Oh, we've got some old analysis here from back on 2021. Oh my goodness. Levels and stuff here on Binance, on Matic. I mean, ever since Matic did break out from this channel, obviously in a pretty significant downtrend, so we broke out from this ascending channel structure here. Based on volume profile, we haven't got much. It's not looking too great, to be honest. We're consolidating at these lows, meaning that we're consolidating at these lows for too long. It's too long here. It's not looking good. It looks like it is going to lose. It's going to lose the low. Fibonacci from the pivot low here in June of 2022 to that pivot high. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, I mean, there's no Fibonacci support. We're just down. It looks like that we are on our way to come down to test the lows from June of 2022. When you want to test these lows, guys, you want to do it relatively fast. You want to come down to the low, bang, and create that double bottom. But when it's here, bang, 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 it's like, there's no buying pressure, there's no interest, and there is more selling pressure with the lower highs. So it's just not looking too great. It looks like that Matic could be on the verge of a movement down, Philip. To be honest, very, very boring price action. Bitcoin's more exciting by the looks of things. Bitcoin is more exciting. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin dominance. Some people were asking for Bitcoin dominance earlier on the stream. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. I think Bitcoin dominance is likely going to have continuation to the upside. It's broken out of a multi-yearly consolidation level, broke out from the resistance point, managed to bounce as support just a few weeks ago, and it's likely to come here to test this high and potentially break it. And if that were to be the case in the next coming weeks, then altcoins are going to bleed a little bit more, guys, for the next coming months, unfortunately. But it will just be a great excuse to buy cheaper altcoins. Good, I am short already, says Philip. Yeah, it does look like it's going to go lower. Can you see Theta on the chart? I just analyzed Theta about 10 minutes ago. It doesn't look that good either. So, yeah, I just did a quick brief analysis. Hi, Andy. Thanks for the stream. Can you have a look at Axie Infinity, AXS? Axie Infinity. These are just quick, brief analysis, guys. There's nothing really major on my analysis here on YouTube on these altcoins. It's just taking an overview, okay, and a little bit of my opinion. A bit of the same thing, right? It is a bit wedgy. It is no doubt a bit wedgy, but they do look a little bit dead, right? This could be more wedgy here for the next coming days and weeks, right? It can still just be boring, but this one's a little bit more wedgy. But still, I mean, this reminds me so much of 2019, 2018, 2019 on altcoins, where you're looking for the bounce, and then it kind of fizzles out and it looks like it's dead for several more months. And it's like, oh, there's not much happening. You might get a quick squeeze, bounce, but then come back down again. There's really not much to analyze on these altcoins, to be honest. Maybe on lower time frames you get some nice levels and some nice, scalping scenarios. But yeah, for me, no. Yeah, it's just right now this consolidation is at this consolidation, so I would arguably discuss it's at the point of control from that range. So basically when you take a look at the fixed volume profile of this zone, you know, it's just sitting at that naked point of control, right? It was naked, but it's not anymore because you're basically on it. That consolidation that you had here in September for a few days, you're basically just sitting at that point of control. So yeah, it has a chance for a little bit of a bounce, but I would expect it to create a lower high here again. Remember, we are in an aggressive downtrend, so I would be patiently waiting for a bounce here on Axie Infinity. And a great level of proven support on Axie Infinity is that $4.35, where you have had 2 bounces. So already just by looking at this level, we've had 2 bounces as support. So if we were, you know, this is very much impulsive, this is corrective, this is impulsive, and this is choppy corrective move. If you do get that rally here, I would say that that $4.35 would be a level of interest for a short, depending on the consolidation, on the reaction. But it does look like it could get a little bit of a bounce. This is classic. It is a bit of classic price action for a possible bounce, right? You've had the major drop, you're consolidating here, bang, 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 and it's just you could be getting a little bit of a rally here. That would only be a corrective rally. I would expect here choppy action, and then a possible another leg down here to the lows in the coming weeks. But it is definitely that it is a level of interest here. $4.35. Long in here is a little bit. It doesn't look bad. It does look like it wants to bounce from here after this major drop, get a bit of a cool off, and then move down again. Interesting level here, $4.35, a respected support level that should be respected as resistance. When we do take a look at Fibonacci from the start of this major drop, which is right over here, to the lows, 50% is where we have these lows. So 50%, you might get a leg up to 618, but in that zone, I would expect the reaction, and then that reaction to drop here, potentially 1 or 2 days after hitting that zone of $4.35, $4.40. It is the zone for a short here. That is that's what I think anyway here. That's with the analysis. Right, let's take a look. Andy, look at Dent, please. Recovery, says Singularity. Hey, thanks for the 10 dirhams. Let's take a look at Dent. Why not? I remember taking a look at this crypto many years ago. What was Dent US dollar tether on Binance? Let's take a look at this one. This one had an insane rally in 2021. Epic rally. Look at this. This one made, I don't know what this one made, but over 100x, I think, from the lows here. Look at the analysis from, well, analysis, a few boxes from a live stream back in 2021. This one had a huge, major hype rally. So possible recovery on this one. Let's zoom in here. And it's just basically at the lows from December of 2022. Right. Yeah, this one right over here does not look, like I said, it's just not looking great. On the some other altcoins as well that, like I mentioned, that we are forming like a, I don't want this consolidation at the lows. It just doesn't not look possible recovery here. I'm gonna say it's very difficult. You could get a bounce, but it's just not looking good. For the last few weeks, you are creating lower highs very, very aggressively. So yeah. Andy, kick the dogs, please. Bernie. Boss, can you check FXS? Yeah, we can take a look at some other altcoins. Question, would the BTC spot ETF approval affect altcoins such as Link strongly too? very, very possible that, you know, if we are, I mean, if there's not going to be an approval and Bitcoin price does get a major drop of $1,000 or $2,000, expect those altcoins to get that corrective move as well. So, yeah, basically, yeah, that's what I think. Altcoins will likely bleed. And, you know, when you talk about Chainlink is in a big major over 1 year consolidation here since, you know, June of 2022. It is creating lower highs. I would say that Chainlink, we will get a great buying opportunity on Chainlink. I do think that we could hit the lows here at beneath $5 again. And I am ready. I got I got some cash on the sidelines to buy some more spot Chainlink. That is at beneath $5. So $5, $4, $3, you know, would be a great buying zone for me, because it's a spring point. When you do analyze the situation here on higher time frames, I would say that, yeah, this is definitely a very likely spring point. We would be like the ultimate low here to buy, you know, Chainlink before it rockets, right, in the next coming, you know, 6, 12, 18 months. That would be my point of view. But yeah, no doubt, if there is going to be an approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF and you get a hype pump, then obviously I would expect that hype pump on some altcoins as well, based on that. Anyway, Beagle Inu, yes sir. Anyway guys, yeah, I'm not gonna call it a night. It's been a chilled live stream Friday evening. Not much more to say. I think on Bitcoin we have the levels marked up. Stay cautious. We could get a massive hype pump or a massive FUD, massive crash as the spot Bitcoin ETF is not approved. It might be a big nothing burger, guys. Okay, so just be very, very cautious with your trading during the weekend. And obviously, you know, I will be updating the legends to see if we do find some major opportunities during the weekend, guys. If you want to join the legends community, you have the link down below. It's the Discord, okay? It's the third link here, Legends Trading Community, where I do post updates every single day, looking for those potential scalp, okay, day trade setups, just like the one here provided today, looking for a possibility of testing the 26,900 range and getting a corrective move here, all right, going beneath the daily open and, you know, even slightly lower. Just talk about, you know, the setups, how we can trade it, how we can manage risk, pure education, videos posted every single day. I wanted to talk about this today on the live stream about compound interest, something that Mark Dutch said, and it's not that hard if you want to be, you know, profitable for the next coming years and make insane gains. You don't have to make much profits every single day. It can be as low as 1%, and in 1-2 years, if you are compounding that 1%, you can make very, very good gains. See you all on Discord, says Mark Dirch. Hey, thank you guys. Checked out some altcoins, a bit of a, you know, not professional analysis, just looking at, you know, what are the possibilities. Obviously, you know, it does take some time to do, you know, intense, you know, analysis, and I focus on Bitcoin, taking a look at the analysis. That is the cryptocurrency that I trade, and I'm doing a bit more scalping right now, obviously on MEXC, because the fees are very low, guys. Absolutely love it. Another way to support the channel, another way for you to trade on one of the greatest platforms out there. Not the greatest. I still believe that Bybit for me is number one. Been trading it too many years. Can't trade on it at the moment, so I have to trade on MEXC. But overall, you do get a great bonus, and the fees are very low. So it's definitely a scalping platform, no doubt, guys. Check it out. You got a great bonus. There is the competition still going on, a couple of days here. Check it out, guys. I mean, we won't reach the $10,000 prize pool because there's not enough volume. 30 people joined, not many people. But overall, you know, next competition, we'll make bigger competitions here for the prize pool to increase. Thank you, everyone. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. And I will see you in the next one.